welcome to Canada, all you viewers of the ARCSOA Elite Series, as the paddock will be taking on the Trois Rivieres circuit, the rather short street circuit. Because of how short it is, ARCSOA Elite Series, as you know, this season has been going with a uniform standard for mileage on races outside of the two big ones, that being 130 miles. Now, Trois Rivieres is typically a very high attrition track. However, because of the 130-mile distance required, they had to run 86 laps around this track. So, we have to run 86 laps around this track. So, we're gonna be seeing, I think, a rather, interesting, almost endurance race where you have to virtually survive it if you want a chance to win it. I think we could see a very small field finishing this race. Jeffrey Finguy is on pole, and with Daytona being next, and then the American 700, a lot of people are starting to think about the American 700, and, well, Colorado got canceled because there was some promises made that track would actually be able to accommodate all 40 cars this season, and, well, it never did. Anyway, to the race.
Jeffrey Finguy's our pole sitter here. No standing start here because the promoters didn't want it here. Anyway, we're green flag here at Trois Rivieres. Finguy got a great start. Galligan did not. And looks like Curtis from third got a pretty good start as well. Galligan's going to be sliding a little bit further back. However, we normally see trouble in turn 2 toward the back. Let's take a look here. Oh, we've got our shenanigans. There's Sanford going around. One of the Ferraris got big contact. Oh, one of the Menervini's got a huge chunk there. That's Collard. Got a big chunk. Oh, there's the 43 going around. That's with the 8 of Vincent Allen. However, they're going to keep going. Oh, boy. A little bit of contact there. Oh, even more trouble. Baskinger, who didn't set a time in qualifying. Oh, is on his side and nearly got wrecked. Or, well, did get wrecked, but nearly got turned over. So, not a good start for last week's winner at Bristol. After leading, Jeffrey Finguy would lead at the end of lap 1. Curtis in second. Galligan's going to fall down to third from second. And Vernier is up to fourth. Vernier was fastest in final practice. Nicholas Vernier was, and is doing a rather fine job. That's Jordan Davis in fifth place as well. Also on lap 1, what also happened, and this was a little bit further back, is that there was some contact further up the track, and well, Lester would get turned around. Casey Lester would, and there's with both the Ranmo cars there, and looks like that's Matt Duncan got a big piece of that as well. Further back, we saw Polyakov get the wall. Kyle Collins, of course, still out on injury from I reckon, I think Sony Cup Series, and yeah, so we're seeing this right now, and we'll hope to be back soon. Or we'll hope he'll be back soon, but here comes some cars onto pit road. They have some pretty hefty damage from that first lap shenanigans. Since this is a, looks like they're rolling the 97 back into the garage. But since this is a long race, I think all these guys might have a chance. Oh, what happened to Lamas? Lamas on the start looked like he would, oh, right there was some contact, and then he was forced on the outside line. Shelton actually got into the wall there, and then Lamas had nowhere to go in front. Tough break for Lamas. And then further back, you see that wreck a little bit further back. As of now, DJ Curtis did set a faster lap time than Finguy last time by, so DJ Curtis is trying to reel down Finguy. Curtis has been probably the most consistent driver all season, I've noticed. He's been very, very quick, and I am really kind of looking forward to see what he can do with the 7 car this season. He's right now in serious championship contention, and I think, like I said, that American 700 is coming up, and a season could be made or lost there. And if I'm DJ Curtis, I'd be trying to guarantee myself to do pretty well there. Also, Daytona's, of course, next week. We have our first turn 4 casualty being Charles Sanford. Sanford would lose control of his car and right into the tire wall. That would be his race over, and that's where Pericles would slide in there. Not a whole lot Pericles could do to avoid that wreck, and Sanford would be pretty much stuck there. Big pack here with Vincent Allen, Sean Angel, Nathan McCain, Tuomas Sernin. I believe I saw Amr Mueller and Silver Fox back there. They're all battling pretty hard. Of course, the Ranmo up there is a lap down. That is of Chris Louvier. just recently announced that his sister will be driving a car for the popular children's television show. My Little Pony is going to be fielding a car in the American 700. So nice to see some children's programming on the ARCSOA Elite Series grid. Get some of the young audience up. Erin Perkins is in her last ride in the 99 car. She will be back, though, in a third Pier, Michigan for the American 700 in the 95 car. Zayden Davison will hopefully be back for Daytona. We're thinking pretty certain he will be. So good to see Erin Perkins not having a great run, but trying her best with the hand she's been dealt. Running 7th and 8th, and a solid 7th and 8th, is Tyler Thaber and Allie Nelson. Allie Nelson's leading Thaber. And James Shelley's in 9th, and Leonardo da Silva, who is not having a strong run here, is in 10th. Washer's a lap down. But Will Lewis is having a fantastic run in 6th place in the Lexus. Absolutely awesome job in the 42 car for Will Lewis. Tuomas Saarinen would be the next victim of the turn 4 wall and would lose control down there. So Saarinen hits the tires in turn 4. DJ Curtis has now caught Jeffrey Finguy. Finguy and Curtis are battling pretty hard. The Missouri natives making a pass on the Michigander. And, a little bit of contact there, but Curtis is doing his best to hold off the Michigan native on his now inside, but going to be outside here. Curtis goes in a little bit deeper, and Finguy has to use the runoff area. This is lap 7 of 86, so you really don't have to be racing too terribly hard. But I think Curtis is going to get it clean there. And looks like Finguy's trying to fight back, but I don't think that's going to exactly work out too well for him. And Curtis is going to take the lead. First lead change of this rather long 130-mile race. Leonardo da Silva's car would break down, and he would bring it onto pit road and would stay there for quite some time. He might even fell out of the race. We'll have to see. Sean Harple would lose control of his Aussie Vineyards car and fly into the turn, I believe that's 6 wall, and would fall out of the race. So tough break for Harple. DJ Curtis is now coming up to lap traffic. That's Nick Pericles, and further back we're seeing Polyakov still holding up Finguy. We believe Polyakov might be at Daytona still, or we're not sure when Collins will be back or not, but we hope soon for Kyle Collins. However, we're not sure. It looks like Curtis is going to make a move on Pericles, though, and put him a lap down. Finguy is going to need to be a little bit more careful around some of these lap cars, but remember, it's a long race. You can do a lot in that time. However, Nicolas Vernier is catching up to Finguy. Only has 1 lap car in between them, that being Oro Ryusu, who has been having a disastrous season so far. Jordan Davis and Sean Galligan are battling quite hard. Galligan actually just took the spot away from Davis for 4th. However, Davis is trying to reset him back up. Gonna be pretty hard here. This track, being small, doesn't have a whole lot of passing opportunities either. There's some long straightaways, but you gotta be really gutsy to make them work as a passing zone. As we've got another car on pit road, it looks like one of the ARCSOA Americas. DJ Curtis is catching the Pure Michigan car of Eugene DeMax, and that's Leonardo da Silva and Sean Angel up there. So Curtis is already lapping people who are actually close to points. DeMax is running 24th, and it's only lap 11 for him, going on 12. So DJ Curtis, this isn't going to be, I don't think, a very close race, but it's been a lot cleaner than I thought it'd be. I guess maybe the drivers got the memo that you got to take this race, start off pretty easy with this one. It's going to be a long one. Nicolas Vernier up there has been held up by Ryusu for quite some time now, and now Galligan is trying to make a move up the order a little bit, and Jordan Davis is in tow as well. A little bit further back, we've got 6th and 7th. 8th goes to Will Lewis, and 9th is way down the order with Almer Mueller and Silver Foxes in 10th position. However, we are seeing that these lap cars are kind of being a pain to some of these drivers. Vernier's been having some trouble with Ryusu ever since he's caught him. And, well, we're watching what Vernier can do. DJ Curtis from the lead would make a pit stop here on lap number 13 going on 14. He has some right side damage from contact with, I believe that was a lap car of DeMax. There's Fitzwater, who also had to make a pit stop. Finn Guy stays out, however, which could be a smart move, seeing as Vernier was all over him, and now he actually got a lap car in between. But Vernier is making a move on Alex Allen now. That is for a lap position. However, track position-wise, that's probably the best thing to do because Finn Guy has some lap traffic being Polyakov and Pericles in front of him. And Finn Guy really... Oh, somebody got the wall hard back there. It looks like Alex Allen got the wall pretty hard. Bad day for the Canadian Dominion and Caraway team. They were expecting to have a pretty good run when they go to... I'm expecting they're going to bring all their equipment to the American 700, as well as the return to Canadian International later in the season. So that should be fun. Jeffrey Finn Guy would actually stay out again here. So Finn Guy's actually, these guys are on a different pit strategy than good old DJ Curtis, who decided to pit a little bit earlier and get on some new rubber. I think that side damage he got with one of the lap cars really kind of hurt him a bit. Maybe a tire rub for all we know, but he's right now doing a, Finn Guy's right now doing a pretty nice job with the lead, but Nicholas Vernier is all over him. And with Jordan Davis in third, I would be watching him because Jordan Davis right now is my favorite for the championship. He looks really, really strong. James Shelley's another one, but Shelley's having a pretty poor, or I don't know about poor, but he's kind of down the order here. Or maybe he is, yeah, he's in 11th. And he needs a better run than that if he's going to be a serious championship contender, because Jordan Davis is absolutely flying during this part of the season. And, well, if he's not going to be a threat for the American 700, I don't know who will be, but maybe a one-off driver, because he's been my pick for the American 700. Those cars are quick. Sean Angel, the Canadian, I think, championship leader, would get turned here and just clip the end of the pit wall. Luckily, he'd be able to keep going. One of the Toyotas got him. I think that was Leonardo da Silva. Yes, it was Leonardo da Silva. So he was pretty much forced to drive down pit road, and I don't think Angel will be too happy about that because that's probably going to knock him out of a points-paying position. Jeffrey Finn Guy is pulling on second place. Nicholas Vernier, who's been stuck behind Nico Polyakov for the majority of this time. And Finn Guy is doing his best to make that gap increase a little more. Remember, you don't have to necessarily race too hard right now because we're only approaching lap 20 of 86. But it is wise to maybe start playing a little bit of a track position game here. We've been watching this pack with Charlie Fabrosis and Chris Washer and Leonardo da Silva, and that is not going to end well for Leonardo da Silva and for, I believe that's Polyakov. No, that's Will Lewis, who actually fell to 16th, but after running so well early on, but Leonardo da Silva would have some damage there, and Chris Washer has quite a lot of damage, believe it or not, a lot more than I thought he did. He might fall out of the race from that. He has been having a dreadful weekend. Actually, Ferrari's had a dreadful season so far, outside of Kansas. But we're going on to some of the tracks that I think they'll be strong at, being the American 700 and, well, Daytona's next week. Oh, we got another car on the wall further back. I heard somebody get in the wall. Check on what that was. That was Zachary Fitzwater going wide coming out of the final hairpin there. And he would be able to keep going, however. But Fitzwater is flirting with points right now, which is something I think Aussie Vineyards needs. Aussie Vineyards has been priding and saying that they will have very competitive cars for the American 700. And with 94 cars on the entry list, including the 40 full-time cars, because Visalola has... Well, God, I don't know if they can even be counted as full-time, because they're not even here this weekend, but 40 full-time cars, 94 will be attempting the race. So it's going to be hard to qualify if you're like one of the Aussie Vineyard cars, who hasn't been that strong this season. James Silverfox from, oh, actually, there's Casey Lester getting on the wall, but James Silverfox from 7th place would be playing a bit of a pit strategy game here and pitting a little bit earlier than, let's say, one of the leaders might. And we'll see how this turns out for him, Silverfox. Speaking of Lester earlier, we're looking now at Jessica Shelton. This team of ARCSOA America says that this is, of course, their Mach A model. and that the Mach B Ford Mustang model will be deadly fast, was the quote, as there's our race leader DJ Curtis lapping Shelby, which is supposed to debut for Daytona. So I would expect that the ARCSOA Americas will be back to their last season's form, starting with the next weekend at Daytona, and then especially with the American 700. Oh, contact with Allie Nelson. Nelson really, well, Nelson giving people room isn't exactly a common thing, but pretty much Nelson just manhandled, or woman-handled in this case, Shelton out of the way. I'm sorry if I said DJ Curtis was leading. Jeffrey Finguy is leading. And behind him, you've got a pretty rough-riding pack back there, and Polyakov still holding up Vernier. I think right now Vernier's got to be starting to get really ticked off. Oh, Vernier's looking, but he's going to be at a disadvantage on the outside of this corner. Actually, he might get something here if he's... oh, no. They're coming up to a very hard corner. He can get a run off. Maybe Vernier can finally get by Polyakov. He's been battling with him for 10 laps, and Polyakov really should get out of the way. And finally, Vernier clears Polyakov, which was an issue all itself for him. So maybe now he can try and catch... well, he's got a lot of lap car between him and Jeffrey Finguy, but Finguy's could be held up by the very slow turbine car of Tedford, and he actually slipped wide, and Will Lewis, who is going the lap down in 12th position, so that just shows kind of the dominance of Jeffrey Finguy, already lapping up to 12th, so yeah, this race has kind of been a bit of a lopsided one. Jeffrey Finguy and the majority of the leaders will pit this time by Finguy, the leader, pits as there's De Silva getting into the wall because of it. More issues for Lester back there, or in the pit lane. There's Vernier coming in. Looks like third place Sabers coming in. Fourth place is actually Almermuller right now. We believe some cars pitted the lap prior, and now Almermuller's pitting. So we're seeing all the lead lap cars are coming onto pit road. So Jeffrey Finguy is going to be sitting pretty right now, I believe. After pit stops, yep, Finguy's still leading. Second place is a little bit closer, though. Vernier had a nice pit stop, the Toyota Brigade did, and are closing actually in on Finguy. You can see Finguy is kind of turning in there, I believe. Yes, Finguy turned through the corner. Shows that Vernier's still within striking distance of him. After that earlier unscheduled pit stop, DJ Curtis is up into third position. However, Nelson is going to make a move for third now, as Curtis had to slide wide because of Polyakov, or is that Will Lewis? Polyakov. And it looks like Nelson's going to make the move, as Curtis is having a little bit of a tough time handling that car. However, he is trying a move on the outside of the Hyundai of Nelson. However, more power. That Infinity's got more power, but it just down the in the corners, looks like the 24 is a little bit more planted. However, it's pretty much whoever Casey Lester holds up is going to, the opposite's going to win this battle, I think. And actually, looks like Nelson is going to clear the 7 car, and, well, looks like Nelson's going to get third position there. The Toyota of Leonardo da Silva, however, same team as the second place man, would blow up. And the typically reliable Toyotas, well, won't be today. That typically reliable Toyota, as Da Silva will have to bring it down pit road and take it to the garage. They are done for the day on lap 25 of 86. Yes, we are still not even halfway done. We're not even close to halfway done. Nelson and DJ Curtis, however, it looks like Ellie Nelson jumped on the pit early strategy and would join DJ Curtis on pit road. Here's a pretty vicious pack back here with Jordan Davis in 6th position. Galligan's in it for 5th. Galligan is, I think, trying to lead the pack, given the lap traffic. Jordan Davis is also in a very peculiar position. Almermuller is in this pack as well, battling for that same group of spots. And then further back, yeah, it'll be a long way back until you get to Vincent Allen, who's the next car on track, high in position. At the halfway mark, Jeffrey Finguy continues to lead this race, as Finn guy is right now pretty much destroying everybody in his sights. I mean, he is gaining on Vernier in lap traffic, and it looks like Finn guy's doing a very valiant job here to make sure he wins this race. The Michigander is having an awesome run today. Another pit stop for Jeffrey Finn guy as there's Vernier in second. And a little bit further back, I think we're actually going to get a car take the lead here. We believe this will be... No, Ammermueller's pitting as well, so... Finn guy's going to take a while, though, on pit road. It looks like Finn guy's taking a long time on pit road. Something might be wrong with the 92 car. Oh, there he goes! Looks like Vernier's going to beat him out of the pits because, looks like they needed to redo brake pads on the, 92 car. I guess Finn guy used too much brake, and Vernier is going to take the lead. That was an extra 35 seconds on that stop. Or not an extra, that was a 35-second pit stop. And I think they knocked out a brake pad out of that, so... one of the brake pads exploded, we're hearing, and one of the tires didn't have a brake. So Vernier is leading this race. As the race starts winding down, it looks like Finn guy is closing in on Vernier. And this is going to be big because I'm seeing Finn guy is a lot quicker than Vernier. But this track, catching is one thing and passing is another. That's one of the big sayings in racing. And especially at a track like this, in which there isn't a whole lot you can do if you're trapped behind somebody. We saw it with Vernier early on when he was stuck behind Polyakov for, I think, 10 laps. But Vernier has got a... I don't know, either block as much as you can, or try and make some sort of gap out of this, because if it comes down to pit strategy, your crew has been fast, so that Toyota crew has been pretty quick on pit stops. Vernier is now lapping James Shelley in 13th position. Shelley is 2 laps down, actually, so really starting to see that the order is spreading out as we're on lap 53 of 86. As we kind of go through some more of the cars, Will Lewis is still right now on the lead lap. So Will Lewis on a different pit strategy in 6th position, so congrats to him. But it just shows how fast those top 2 cars are, because they are catching cars that are in the top 10 now and lapping them. DJ Curtis has fallen back 2 positions. He's down to 5th position. And Curtis is having a pretty difficult run today as Sharat Angel are making some contact there. Angel's in the points, which is what he needs for his championship moves. However, as we keep going through the order, just looking through it, looks like it's still Vernier, and right now, something wrong with Tedford. I think Tedford maybe is having some mechanical woes with that car since it got wrecked. But Vernier is doing an awesome job in the Toyota car. However, I wouldn't be surprised if Finn guy starts wheeling Vernier in. Nicholas Vernier is trying to make a move up to lap the Paul Athenos car. Does that move, and now Athenos is battling with James Shelley. That is for position, actually. Athenos was in the top 10, or is in the top 10. DNC also is fighting for position. So, you got a position battle in front of Finn guy, which I wouldn't want to be Finn guy in this situation. I might try and get off that pit strategy he's on, because I wouldn't want to be on that at this rate. But what we hope will be the final pit stop of the race, Vernier would lead Finn guy onto pit road. Jared Stewart Davis's teammate, the 3rd place car, is about to go a lap down. So pretty much it's between Vernier and Finn guy, in all honesty, as Vernier comes onto pit road. And let's see. Oh, a little bit of a bobble on the right side of there. Much slower stop, and oh, more bobbles on that pit stop. Finn guy, quick pit stops looking like right now for Finn guy. And they're going to pack Vernier's car full of fuel. And oh, there is some problems on the 62 car. They've got some, I think he stalled it. I think the 62 stalled it, so that's a pit stop from hell for Vernier. And it looks like there's Davis coming out of the pits. There goes Finn guy. And Finguy's going to take the lead out of it. But Finguy catches the wall there, coming out of the pits, and now Vernier's back to second with about 21 to go. Eugene DeMax would have a mechanical problem in his Pure Michigan car. Tough break for him. This team of Pure Michigan is another one that says they will be ready for the American 700. They are building special built cars for that. The American 700 has kind of a different rule book than the rest of the ARCSOA races. Where pretty much, within a certain extent, anything can go for the American 700, and they're saying that they're going to have some pretty interesting American 700 cars. Pure Michigan will. They want to take it down to those Ohioans, Discover Ohio boys. DJ Curtis was battling with the lap car Shelton, and Curtis from 5th place, the one-time leader, would spin out there, and wow, drove it right into the tire wall. So DJ Curtis, whose race has gone from, well, mediocre to downright awful, now would fall out of the race because of the damage he got. Coming into the closing stages of this race, pretty much Jeffrey Finguy is effectively killing everybody around here. Vernier's a long way back, and 3rd place is right there in front of Finguy. So, like I said, there possibly can only be 2 cars on the lead lap, as Davis is looking like he's going to want to stay on the lead lap, but I'm not sure if maybe Ike Durbin, the team principal at Durbin Sport, would tell Davis to maybe back off and let Finguy go, because it's not worth battling and losing the race and 3rd. But pretty much at this rate, Davis is going to get 3rd, and 4th place is Almermuller is quite a ways back. Looking even further back, 5th place is Will Lewis, who's had a completely surprising run. However, he is battling with the 2 S3 cars. This is the closest battle on track right now. Will Lewis is battling really hard with Thaber and Nelson. Thaber takes a look, but not going to make a move there. Oh, but he's going to bump Lewis out of the way, and now he's going to look. A little bit of a bump and run there. However, the Lexus has more power down the straightaway than the Hyundai does. And going to take the spot now. It looks like Nelson's going to try on the outside of Thaber. And Nelson's going to use that little bit of runoff room that they were given. And, well, it's not going to really matter because it looks like Thaber is going to get the spot. The battle for the final point spot is between Casey Lester and James Tyson, right in front of that battle for 5th that we were just highlighting. Tyson's got to catch, or Jason Tyson, I apologize. I keep saying James Tyson all season. Casey Lester's got to be able to hold him off. I think ARCSOA America desperately needs some points, especially if they're saying that their cars are going to be as good as they say they are. Sheldon's actually in, right now, 2 outside of the points. She's got to get by her teammate and Tyson to get points, or hope that something really strange happens up the order a little bit more. Probably in the pack that's in front of Sheldon and right behind the 2 others. That's probably where it would be, but everything's pretty much spread out outside of like this group of cars, which are battling for their own main points positions, as we're coming to only a few laps to go now. Looks like back there Nelson looked on Thaber. However, I don't know if S3's Hyundai is going to be very keen on them racing so hard on each other. I wouldn't be, but Allie Nelson probably wouldn't listen to team orders anyway. Jeffrey Finguy now had lapped Jordan Davis and is on his way to lapping all but 1 car. So Jeffrey Finguy is having a fantastic run. 2nd place is Vernier, obviously. And well, I don't see anything changing unless something breaks on Finguy's car. Which we hope doesn't happen. But now we're getting a long train of cars behind Casey Lester. We got Tyson, Will Lewis, Nelson, Thaber, Shelton, Galligan. Now Galligan's going to maybe get into the battle with Thaber and Nelson. Nelson actually got by Thaber. And we're just seeing some of this close quarters racing up here, or toward the back here. And looks like Will Lewis is trying to get by Tyson. Looks like, as is Nelson, Tyson's going to have to make a move there. That was for 21st position, so it looks like now I think Casey Lester can breathe kind of a sigh of relief, because now Lester's teammate's trying to make a move on Tyson. Jason Tyson had a chance, but I think lost it right there. Looks like Galligan's really trying to catch up now. Virtually shoving, well, was shoving Shelton down the straightaway there. Telling Shelton pretty much to get out of the way. I want to get up to 5th place. I'm not sure if that's going to be a reasonable possibility. He might get 7th out of it. 2 laps to go now for Jeffrey Finguy, and with Vernier nowhere to be really seen, quite a ways down the order, it's pretty much Finguy's race to lose, as he is catching up to Paul Athenos. Jeffrey Finguy's had a fantastic run. I don't believe he's won yet this season. His teammates won either once or twice now, but he's doing a fantastic job today. It's now down between the 2 S3s and, well, Galligan. If Galligan can get by the Oricom. Not long to go in this race, and they're... Oh, contact between the 2 S3s. And I think Nelson's going to regain that position that Saber took from her. And Galligan's just having a very tough time with Ryusu. I'm surprised Ryusu's not trying to back off because, well, Perkins, she's racing Ryusu. She's racing Perkins, but... very hard racing out of RL Ryusu, and I think Galligan just wiped away any chance of catching the S3s right there. So Galligan's race is pretty much over. Well, not over, but he's not going to be catching 7th place. However, Jeffrey Finguy, as he comes to the hairpin, this is the last lap, of course. He's only got the chicane to go, and he will then go across the line to win the rather long, almost an hour and 42-minute race here at Trois Rivieres. And off the final corner, Jeffrey Finguy will come across to take the victory at exactly an hour and 42 minutes. So one of the longer races of the season. Second place, a little bit of a ways back, is Nicolas Vernier, and that means everybody else is going to be counted now because Jordan Davis was in 3rd place behind Finguy. So, kind of a different kind of race, being this long, but a good one at that. We'll take you down to the finishing results. This race was a lot cleaner than I thought, so take you down to the finishing results.